Let me paint you a little picture quickly. So you're stuck inside on quarantine, we're not playing Airsoft, and we're probably not going to be able to go out and play again for at least another 2-3 months, which is madness. So you're trying to get your fix some other way. Most of us probably sat here playing Call of Duty because it's kind of practice, and I guess you can practice tactics on there too, see how they play out, but it's very, very different to what Airsoft is. And there's only so much of that you can take before you just get a little bit like really frustrated about the fact that you can't go out and play. So you start to do other things. You get your riffs, you have a little play with them, you go through them, and maybe you want to try something new. Now with my M4, my Crytek CRB Mark II Trident, I have gone through so many different types of grip on it, and I've now come back to essentially where I pretty much started. So I'm going to tell you all about my foregrip journey and let you know which ones I would recommend. Alright, I'm going to put you on the table first of all, just so I can show you stuff at the same time as talking about it. Look at that. Ready to go. By the way, try and ignore the hum that's going on. I'm sure it's going to become second nature to you very soon, but essentially it's the printer, so just kind of ignore that for now. Now, first of all, what is a foregrip? Well, a foregrip goes on the front of your riff, right anywhere underneath here, and it allows you to hold it. So when you're, you know, kind of trying to shoot at people, you've got a very comfortable grip on the rifle. Now, what I'm doing at the minute is probably a little hint as to where we're going to be ending up in this video, but I'm going to talk you through the journey I went through and all the grips that I've kind of had. Very quickly, when I started to play Airsoft, I was holding the rifle like this. I found it was very comfortable, holding like the riff for this kind of prolonged periods of time as you do when you're holding corners. This was just very comfortable, and I could hold it like this all day. By the way, there's no BBs in the mag, the chamber is completely clear, and also there's no batteries in it, so it's safe to have the mag in. So I was looking around for accessories and what I could get, and I came across this. Essentially, this is a magwell foregrip. What this does is goes over the magwell like that, so then when you're using it, you can get a nice, comfortable grip, fattens up the magwell, and just allows you to kind of like, makes this more of an official grip epicenter, if you like. And I was very, very happy with this. I was using it for quite a while, actually, probably like consistently for about 4 or 5 months or so. And I was just absolutely loving it. But one thing that I always felt like kind of got caught off guard on was when I was watching like YouTube videos and people playing, I never ever saw people holding their wrists with this. I never saw people using this kind of grip, and it got me thinking, is there something better out there? So I had a chat to my friends who frequent Airsoft as well, and they all kind of like had a different assortment of foregrips, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to buy a couple at the same time, see which ones I like, and then go from there. So this came off. This, by the way, these are super cheap. However, they don't really have a universal fitting. So if you do get this, expect, first of all, to remove the threading from the plastic, because I over tightened it and removed the thread straight away. So that's why I use cable ties to hold it on. And also expect that you're going to need to like kind of file it around a lot to make it fit, because all magwells are different. On my first riff that I used this on, my magwell was kind of like a weird shape like that, so I had to shape this so it fit it. And now with this one, it doesn't really fit it perfectly, just due to where the different bulges out in the middle are, they don't really align. So in order to get this fit super snugly, I'm gonna have to chop it down a fair bit, and I'm not really gonna do that because I don't like to use these grips anymore. But needless to say, that was my first one, learned a lot from it. And on to number 2. Well, technically number 2 is 2 different grips, because I bought a vert grip and an angle grip at the exact same time, because I'm the kind of person who, if I've got option A and option B, I don't really feel like there's any point in buying one of them or getting one of those options. I feel like you should just get both of them, because then you can test them both at the same time, and whichever one is better, you can then get. Because if you buy one, test it, return it, buy the other one, test that, I don't really think it's a fair comparison. So I bought a vert grip and an angle grip at the same time. The angle grip, I fit first, and I fit it right about there. And this felt awkward and horrible and just really, really not good at all. So I put it on the riff, tried it, wasn't very happy with it, took it off straight away, got the vert grip, mounted the vert grip, I think it was like around about here, and this was much closer to what I was used to having. So instead of going from this kind of grip, I was going to this type of grip, and I must say, I was very happy. I felt like I had a lot of control. I could quickly tilt the gun if I needed to. I could pull it around corners. I had so much control that this stayed on for absolutely bloody ages. Really enjoyed the vert grip. Really enjoyed the vert grip. And I felt that it gave me more control over using the angle grip. Fast forward a few months and I get a little bit like, I'm curious now. Like, holding it vertically like that felt quite nice, but at the same time, I saw a lot of people using angle grips, and I was like, maybe I should give it a go. You know, let's not write it off, let's give it a proper go. So, went back to the angle grip, chucked it on, used it for a session, and kind of changed my life. And from that point onwards, I was an angled grip master. Having it on right at the front of the rail, just using it like that, having my hand all curled around, because I was watching, who is it? Dutch the Hooligan. He always holds his riff like that, and I was never really found that super comfortable, but now that's kind of changed, and now I do find that comfortable, and yeah, so I had that up until today, because today is the day I removed the angle grip from my riff. It's come off for two reasons. One, this is actually just really comfortable to hold like this now. And when I have the angle grip, it kind of makes my arm twist more like vertically. Whereas I feel like without it, I can have more of my arm can be flatter while I'm supporting the riff, which is much more comfortable. So now when I play, I can go like this. Also, not having the grip on there allows me to change my grip depending on the situation. So if I've got like, you know, somebody further away and I need to like, you know, rest up on a box or something, I can go all the way to the mock suppressor, put my arm on something, and then I'll be even steadier. Or if I want to like, you know, breach or go in like, you know, quite CQB, I can come right up to here using the magwell, and I don't have any obstructions up along the outer barrel, which could get caught on something as I, you know, push in and advance and go forward. So that, I love the freedom that gives me now, because I can just find wherever's comfortable, grip it, and it's good. Now there is also one extra thing, one extra reason why I don't have any grips on my riff at the minute. It's because I've made one, and it's quite fun. It's good, it works. And yeah, I want to see what you think about it. So this is the grip. Now, it doesn't really look like much. On the back there, you've got two black Allen bolts. You've got a Picatinny connector there. And you're thinking, what is that? Well, let me put it on, and then I'll show you what it is quick. I'm going to put a black one on. I've got a left side version, and a right side version. And I've got a black left side, so I'm going to chuck that on. So you must be thinking, how is that a grip? You know, it doesn't really look comfortable to hold. It's a weird shape. Like, how are you supposed to, you know, just do anything with it? Well, it's missing one key component. It holds a Glock in there. And the reason why this is a grip is because the Glock becomes the vert grip. So when you're playing, you can hold onto your Glock like that. And then if you do need to drop down to your secondary and, you know, take a corner or, you know, quickly just enter somewhere, you just pull it out and then you're ready to go. And if you're wearing it on your rig, like I use a 1-point harness, you just drop your rifle down. Imagine this would be like holding up now. That comes out and then you step over and then you're ready to go in. You're ready to advance with your Glock like that. Now, the benefit of having it on the left side is you can use it as the vert grip, like that, same amount of control. You can push across. It's built so the trigger is covered as a safety feature, so you can't accidentally discharge the Glock whilst it is holstered. And you just pull it out and you go forward. So you're there, pull it out, and then you're good to go. Now the reason why there's a left side version and a right side version, it's your personal preference where you want to have it. You can either use the Glock as your vert grip, like that, either thumb up or on the side, or you can put it onto the right hand side. If you're a lefty, then that means that you'd be then using the Glock as the vert grip. If it's on the right hand side of the riff, I would grip like normal. So, you know, imagine the Glock wasn't there, grip it like normal. And if I did want to drop down to my sidearm, I'd lower my riff, grab the Glock, pull out, and then I'm good to go. So it's a nice, smooth draw. The only downside really to this, having it on this side, is if you pull with your left hand, if you're not really like left side dominant or great, you know, using your left hand, which I'm not. You then have to kind of move from left hand to right hand, which is an opportunity for you to fumble and slow you down. So a little bit of practice though, and you can get really quick at doing that Glock placement. But yeah, that's the other type of grip that we have at the minute. And I must say, this is tons of fun, very, very tactical, allows you to do things which, you know, you can't really do elsewhere. Fantastic little bit of kit there. If you did want one, they are available on the eBay store at the minute. I'll put a link below so you can check those out. All in all, with grips, like I said at the start, I've kind of gone full circle, although I am holding the riff in a different place. Started off holding the magwell, then I went to a foregrip, which was good for a while. Then I wanted to try something else different. Then I went to the angled foregrip, absolutely great. Then I've been playing around with this bad boy, and I must admit, it is a ton of fun, and also means you don't have to worry about holstering it somewhere in your body. Like, the reason why I made this in the first place was if I had a Glock like on a holster or like a thigh pouch or something like that, I felt like I had to change my style. I had to run a specific way to make sure it didn't fall off. Having it here doesn't get in the way. It's actually useful. I'm using it as a grip the whole time, so it's not like it's not getting in the way. It's out of the way, and it's still being tactically used when you're holding it, which is like best of both worlds. Everyone is different though, so by all means, try them out. The great thing about grips is they're all relatively cheap. So you can get, like, I think these vert grips here were anywhere between 8 to 12 pounds. Same with the angle grip. This thing, I think I'll do it for about 12 to 16, something like that, just because it's quite a unique, fun item. And yeah, you kind of like, there's so much choice out there and so much room for you to customize your riffs that I think you'd be amiss not to try out different things. So give the grips a go. 100% try the magwell. Try holding the hand guard as well. Although expect your wrist and forearm to ache a little bit at the start and make it feel really, really uncomfortable. You'll get used to that soon enough though, and then you'll be accurate as anything afterwards. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've had a good time here today. Please do make sure you hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you in another video.